I lectured a very interesting reading today at my Catholic church. It was a letter from St. Paul to the Corinthians, actually verse 12. And if you watch any of my other videos, you would know that I don't actually really agree with St. Paul. I think that Paul actually kind of ruined early Christianity and hijacked it. That's my personal belief. But another huge personal belief of mine that is actually more important than that belief is the fact that you can disagree with someone on something, but you can also agree on them in other things. Nobody's right on everything. Everyone's fucking wrong and everyone's fucking right. That's just what part of being in this like density of reality is, right? We're not up there in Prasha Paramita / the perfection of wisdom. We're not up there with God. We're not up there with the absolute. We're in this fucking fucked up dimension and we gotta fucking sort the wheat from the chaff or whatever the fuck the fucking village people do, right? So, I'm gonna read out the reading right now. I could put the fucking video of me reading at church, but I don't want people knowing where I go to church. I want people to fucking do something to me, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and fucking read it, okay? By the way, I'm using my ring light for the first time in years. I'm cleaning up my closet and I found it in a random box full of bullshit from my old apartment that we got fucking shot at. So I have a fucking ring light now. Whoop de fucking do. Thank you. All right, gonna read this fucking thing before you fucking get out of this fucking video. Okay. So this is the letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians, the first one, and this is chapter 12, verse 12. For just as the body is one and has many members, and all the members of the body, though many, are one body, so it is with Christ. For in the one Spirit we were all baptized into one body, Jews or Greeks, slave or free, and we were all made to drink of one Spirit. Indeed, the body does not consist of one member, but of many. If the foot would say, because I am not a hand, I do not belong to the body, that would not make it any less a part of the body. So let me stop this before, because actually, even for me, it took me a couple of times to fucking read this shit and actually understand it. So the body does not consist of one member, but of many. If the foot would say, because I am not a hand, I do not belong to the body. My hand is clearly part of the body, so is my foot. Those are Animal Crossing socks. What's my other sock? Oh, they're just dots. That's not fun. But what he's clearly trying to say is that just because one part of the body is small and it's not the entire body, that doesn't mean it's not part of the body. You know, I am not my hand, but my hand is a part of me. And I kind of need my hand, you know, all respect to amputees and stuff. But look, I think I can kind of stop here. Actually, no, I'm gonna fucking go on. If the ear would say, because I am not an eye, I do not belong to the body, that would not make it any less a part of the body. If the whole body were an eye, where would the hearing be? If the whole body were hearing, where would the sense of smell be? But as it is, God arranged the members in the body, each one of them as he chose. If all were a single member, where would the body be? As it is, there are many members, yet one body. The eye can't say to the hand, I have no need of you, nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you. On the contrary, the members of the body that seem to be weaker are indispensable. And those members of the body that we think less honorable, we clothe with greater honor, and our less respectable members are treated with greater respect. So, whereas our more respectable members do not need this, but God has so arranged the body, giving the greater honor to the inferior member, that there may be no dissension within the body, but the members may have the same care for one another. If one member suffers, all suffer with it. If one member is honored, all rejoice together with it. So, this reminds me of this analogy that I make a lot when I try to talk about my views on religion and the multiplicity of God, / the divine. People in Abrahamic religions say that their God is a jealous God, right? But if you want to see God as this kind of all-encompassing everything, how would this all-encompassing everything be jealous of something that is overall part of it? So let's say, you know, okay, I'm the body, right? I'm in my body right here. Am I ever jealous of my hand? Am I ever jealous of my fucking ear? Am I ever jealous of my fucking nose? No, never. That doesn't make any fucking sense. So why would God be jealous of Lakshmi if Lakshmi is part of God, right? And, you know, I know everyone doesn't have this view, and that's totally fine. But my view of God has been changed through, you know, unverified personal gnosis, study, reading, spiritual things I feel. I'm a lector, you know. So I do have a very great respect for the Catholic religion, but the Abrahamic whole jealous God thing, it just does not make sense to me. That's a pretty big thing to disagree on, but look, grew up in a Catholic family. I honor the ritual aspect of the religion, and I love reading for my church. I love my church community, and I'm never gonna not love it. I'm not a fucking armchair theologian. You know, these motherfuckers talk about religion online. I'm like, do they know you at your local church? Do they even fucking know you? Like, they know me in my local church. I walk in, everyone fucking knows me. Not showing off about that in ego, but it's like, are you an armchair theologian or not? If you don't know that fucking term, armchair theologian is me kind of rehashing the armchair occultist thing. So when I was more into the occult, and less into like religious theology study, which if you look at my actual life, there's a lot of occult aspects of my life, but obviously because of the occult, I'm not going to come here and talk about it, you know, rather talk about the Bible and shit, because more people are willing to listen about that shit. I'm not going to get no fucking weirdos. Armchair occultist is like I'd be in Facebook groups and there'd be these fucking guys who would talk all day about this stuff, but have never done even a fucking low-level Wiccan love spell. They've never even taken a pink candle, carved a fucking quick-ass sigil in it, put some rose oil on it, threw a piece of rose on it, put it on a fucking plate and burned it. They haven't even done any ritual like that. And that's not even talking about like you know, then there's ceremonial magic, Solomonic magic, you know, when you can go by the Chaldean order, like all this stuff. There's some people online that talk about occult things. They just read about it. They don't ever fucking practice it. They might even try a fucking low-level spell and fucking combust because these people don't fucking meditate. Their chakras are cloudy as shit. You know, but look, here as I am, always going off on other things, but even though I don't like Paul, I really liked what he said here because it gave me another point to use in my argument. I'm not going to be one of those people that tries to take an argument that is for something else and make it my own. No, but it's kind of inspiring the next step of my argument, where like, you know, like these lesser deities, they are an important part of divinity, of the multiplicity of divinity. They're aspects of divinity, and they're not more important or less important than another. They all shape our reality, right? You know, deity shifts and changes interacting with humans, right? That's something that just happens. I've learned about that when I read my Exorcist handbook. I learned about that in my own practice, right? That Lady Gaga song, Disease, she says, like a God without a prayer. And I really, really love that line because gods need prayer, actually. Why do you think they want us to pray to them? You know? The prayer is a conduit between us and divinity. We're now in a back and forth relationship. You know, when we do pray, when we make offerings to divinities, when we do things for them, then like, you know, the more things you do for them, like that just kind of gives them more energy, and that means they can do more for you. It's obviously up to them. Every sentient being has their own free will. But you can kind of, you know, kind of nudge it along, you know. If you're really nice to the Popeyes worker and they like you, they might give you an extra tender. You know what I mean? Like, I just went to Popeyes today. I just fucking took down some chicken. I don't have nothing on my table right now. I do have a sweet tea over there. I can't drink because it's like cracking a cup to me. Hella fucking sensitive to caffeine, but where the fuck was I? I really like this analogy that St. Paul did. And, but the point of this isn't talking about any multiplicity of deity. He was a fucking, Pharisee that converted to Christianity, so he's not going to be into anything pagan. This is early Christianity anyways. This is not even super, like, they're not even, like, motherfuckers that started liking the icons later, but this is the last part of this chapter. Now you are the body of Christ and individually members of it. And God has appointed in the church first apostles, second prophets, third teachers, then deeds of power, then gifts of healing, forms of assistance, forms of leadership, various kinds of tongues. Are all apostles? Are all prophets? Are all teachers? Do all work miracles? Do all possess gifts of healing? Do all speak in tongues? Do all interpret? But strive for the greater gifts, and I will show you a still more excellent way. And that's where Paul gets kind of egoic at the end, which I don't really agree with, but basically the point of this passage is about how do I say it in the best way fucking possible without bringing Popeyes in the conversation or something? Like, everyone has their own allotted role, right? Everyone has their own role. And not everyone's gonna be a fucking apostle. Not everyone's gonna be a saint. But do your fucking best, right? Do your fucking best. That's the point of this article. Not do your best, but everyone has their own role. You know, I guess in the church and I guess in the parish, you know, there's acolytes, there's lectors, haha, me. There's a priest, there's the lady that does the accounting in the parish office. These are all parts of the whole, you know? So don't ever feel like, oh, just because you're not a fucking priest or you're a fucking apostle or a prophet, that doesn't mean you're not important, you know? And this is a good message overall, though I don't like Paul. I do like this message. But the part of the body and how the eye and the ear can't be jealous of each other, or they're not, they, like, the body is not the ear, you know, but the ear is part of the body. Like, it reminded me of my kind of analogy where, you know, God can't be jealous of his hand, you know, but the hand is part of God. And it's an important part of God. So, like, these other deities, like, Seshat, from the ancient Egyptian pantheon, right? There's Danu, Green Tara, there's Bridget, right? And there's some African deities up there, Ngome, Sitira, Oya. You know, these are just on my wall. Caradwan, Freya. That one fell. I don't know who that is. There's Athena, Inanna, Okemochi. Like, these expressions of divinity as interpreted by humans through different cultures, these are all parts of, like, the hands of God. And actually in Tibetan Buddhism, there's Avalokiteshvara or Kannon in Japanese, and it actually inspires Hashirama's main jutsu. I can actually grab this right here. I made this really cool prayer candle because I just like it. This is the 1,000 armed Bodhisattva of compassion, Avalokiteshvara. Guanyin in Chinese, Kannon in Japanese, and this is Hashirama's jutsu, the 1,000 armed thing. And this is a nice depiction of divinity because I really do think that God has these 1,000 arms, you know, and these 1,000 arms are the other divinities, and they all serve a purpose. And when people are like, oh, well, they're all demons, you know, I'm like, well, how do you know that? Do you ever talk to them? Or you're just going off of what some guy in a fucking book said? Personal experience is fucking massive. Have you ever tried to pray to one of these deities? You know, like, have you ever tried to talk to them? You know, assuming that a deity is a demon because of what other people said, that's like judging someone without even talking to them. And yeah, okay, like, if I hear a story about, like, I kind of really fuck with Lilith, and I've heard a lot of crazy stories about her. Every female I know who works with Lilith fucking loses their goddamn mind, loses their fucking marbles, and they just go totally nuts. You ever find a Lilith practitioner that's actually mentally stable, let me know. I'd love to interview them. I've never seen it. So I don't work with Lilith because I've just kind of heard of bad stories, but I've seen bad stories. It's like, I'm gonna stay away from that bitch because she fucked on my friend's man and she fucked on my other friend's man. That's enough reason for me to stay away. I'm not going to talk no crazy shit about her. I just heard some bad things and I'd rather stay away from that, you know? That's where I am with deities that I choose not to worship. But just assuming they're all demons because they're not Jesus is like, holy crap. Like, could you imagine if somebody did that in real life with, like, people? You know? Like, deities are not people, but they're sentient beings, and we're sentient beings too, just on a smaller scale. We're just flesh and blood. You know, we could actually see each other. But we're all, you know, forms of consciousness interacting with each other. So, it feels pretty weird, but apologies for this being kind of... I am still fixing my whole fucking life. Found my ring light, found a tripod in my fucking closet, cleaning out my fucking closet like I'm so shady. Reorganizing things for my various small businesses, my mala making, my incense making, my bracelets, my writing, you know, and what else do I fucking do? There's another fucking thing that I do. Oh yeah, candles. I fucking make candles. So, like, it's like I'm kind of reorganizing and resetting all my supplies for, like, kind of like 5 separate things in a small business, or 5 small businesses, kind of. So yeah, that's why I'm fucking just uploading things of me writing in the pre-colonial script and fucking Pokemon videos. So, you know, sorry if you're a subscriber that wants to see more of this type of content. I don't feel exactly ready to do it yet. But this inspired me so much that I had to do a video. I definitely want to like revisit this perhaps. Just comment if you want me to revisit in a more professional way where I'm not talking about fucking Popeyes and ridiculous stuff. But this is just one take, uploading it straight. May edit in the fucking Bible thing. I'll fucking edit in the Bible thing. I'm actually putting an effort in this shit now. Little bit less of like a fucking idiot lately. But, I didn't take any notes for this. I just was like, let me turn on the camera, let me try the string line, let me just go like one take J with this. So I did that. Could definitely film a nicer video about this. We'll do it at some point, but this kind of content is going to come back better, going to come back a lot more professionally. But for now, this is all I have cathexis for. This is all I have spoons for. This is all I have the energy for, the bandwidth for right now. So please forgive me for that. I'm going to get back here stronger. I'm going to get to that fucking million, whatever the fuck subscribers. I'm going to be well known as a fucking, whatever the fuck I am, whatever the fuck I'm going to be. I'm going to be well known. I'm still on that fucking journey. Thank you for being with me on this journey. But I'm going to put this up relatively quickly. I'm fucking recording this on the 26th January. So you're actually going to see this probably on February. I'm actually really trying to upload something every fucking day now. And let me know what you want me to touch on. I don't know when I'm going to be able to do more consistent intellectual content versus just like writing stuff and Pokemon. Maybe I could kind of like switch it in. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out, but right now I'm just making sure that I upload something every day, right? So working on it, twerking on it. I'm not twerking on it. No, I don't have that fucking bone. I am a half white, half Filipino. But hey, thank you for fucking watching. Sorry for making it long-winded. Kind of an idiot. Gonna have notes and be more prepared next time, but I just read that in church and had to fucking actually make a video talking about it, even though I'm not really doing this shit right now because I am focusing on getting my fucking disaster of a room like that of a normal person. So thank you for watching. Sorry, it's 16 fucking minutes. I'm gonna shut the fuck up now. Thank you, and like and subscribe. I feel so cheesy saying that shit. Sorry about that. Like and subscribe, comment, let me know what the fuck you think. Please comment. I really like those. Even if you're gonna be fucking mean to me, comment. And I'm gonna go fucking watch videos of people fighting at Popeyes right now with my man. Goodbye.